Hey y'all, I hope you're doing well. After some wonderful reading of one of my favorite books, Life of the Beloved, and listening to a sermon yesterday from one of my pastors in LA, I just had some things on my mind and heart to share with y'all. When it comes to relationships, dating, or just friendships, I think a lot of what drives us is sometimes the fear of losing the relationship. We oftentimes, we live in a society that's driving us to grab for success, grab for our identity, grab for our value and worth, saying that we have to work for that. But when that becomes the reality, then our relationships, when we're seeking out a closeness in relationship, to feel fulfilled, to feel like we can be whole only with that relationship, romantic or not, it no longer becomes a healthy, connected relationship that has a healthy godly dependence, but it becomes a relationship that is very codependent, meaning that you aren't okay within yourself. You don't really feel at peace without the goodness of that relationship. But healthy relationships, again, romantic or not, only come when two whole people are wanting to be connected to one another. They're already whole in who they are, and I say that in a generalization. We're human beings, so we're not going to feel whole every moment of every day, but in general, it's two whole people who are generally healthy, know who they are, know their identity, know their value and worth will not be taken away or given by any relationship, but is already there. Part of this comes from knowing who we are and whose we are. I am going to read us a quote from Life of the Beloved by Henri Nouwen. When our deepest truth is that we are the beloved, and when our greatest joy and peace come from fully claiming that truth, it follows that this has to become visible and tangible in the ways we eat and drink, talk and love, play and work. I think that's so good because it talks about what healthy relationships should look like and what the intent of the heart should be in wanting to connect with other people. Again, I just think that sometimes fear of rejection or fear of losing someone is what motivates us to take actions to pursue one another in relationship. But that's really unhealthy. That's codependency. Connection comes from knowing who you are and whose you are, and the value you already have and know of yourself. And because you know that in yourself, you're able to see it more fully in others, and you want to connect with that in others, and you want to genuinely connect and love people. Your motivation is genuinely out of love and affection for one another, and not out of a fear of loss or rejection. And so again, just kind of touching on the difference and the contrast between what a healthy relationship looks like. Again, this isn't just romantic, it's friendships too, y'all, but healthy or unhealthy. I have another question that I think, I have another quote from this book that I think really helps state what we often question in unhealthy relationships and what we should be questioning for healthy relationships. The real question is not what can we offer each other, but who can we be for each other? And I think that's so healthy and so good. Again, when we're trying to strive for this relationship to fulfill us and make us whole in a certain way, we're looking for, like, what can we offer for each other? And relationship becomes this tit for tat type of situation, and that's not at all what God intended for it to be. But instead, if we ask who can we be for each other, it's the question of, man, I love you and I have so much affection for you. Like, who can I be for you? What can I do for you in this moment? And that's not out of trying to find our identity or even just become a totally different person for somebody else, but it comes from a place of knowing I am whole and I know who God has made me to be. And because of that, because of the beautiful complexity of how God has wired me, what aspect of that God-given identity can I be for you? And how does that benefit you in your life? And that's how we can approach relationships with a lot more depth. So I hope that you will continue to grow with me as learning how to have more healthy, godly, dependent relationships that are motivated by love and affection for one another, and not this need to feel more whole or cover our insecurities. And natural love is already going to automatically kind of dissipate our insecurities, but again, when we're seeking relationships out of a fearfulness of not feeling at peace without that relationship or that person, we're going to have really unhealthy codependent habits being formed in that relationship that actually take away from the deeper connection that we're ultimately desiring.